you know, I've been coaching 35 years, and I'm basically repeating some of the things I said in the locker room. Coached 5 years in high school. This is my 30th year, and I don't say these things. You know, I don't tend to throw these kind of comments out lightly. I've never had a team overachieve more than this group of kids. I mean, just deal with more things, and you know, just keep coming, keep grinding. And it's kind of classic the way the game went. You know, we got behind the 8 ball and got knocked down, pretty much got knocked to our knees there early. Didn't come out with the kind of intensity that, you know, you'd think you would come out with. We have a tendency at times to do that. But, you know, how do we get back? You know, it's kind of like, I don't know how we did that. I don't know how we did it the whole year. But it's kind of our season in a nutshell a little bit, the way we hung in there and got off the mat and kept plugging and grinding our way back in. You know, they're an amazing team, and you know, I think there's a lot of mutual respect. I know there is from the coaches for each other, but I think the players over the last couple of years, especially the way we've gone at each other since the conference changed and we became, you know, rivals in the same side of the conference. I think the level of respect for the two programs that we have for each other. I think it's the way college basketball, college sports are supposed to be. I wish it was a little more even. We won one out of the last, I think 8, or one. Well, we won one out of the 7 that we played in the last 2 years. You know, I wish we could have made it a little more that way from a rivalry standpoint. But you know, they've had an amazing team, and that group of seniors that they have is you know, the numbers speak for themselves. Yeah. And obviously, one of them made the play. You know, made the plays throughout the game, and it wasn't like we weren't trying to guard him. We had our best people trying to shut him down the whole night, and we've shut him down in the past. That was a little, you know, I was disappointed early that we didn't do a better job, and honestly, I think Trey it's kind of like what's been going on with Trey all year, and I don't want to make excuses, but he obviously, after coming from the Gulf South Player of the Tournament, he tweaked his foot again, and he was less than 100% today. But you know, again, not making excuses, but even going back to when we played him at our place, Trey did a great job on Jamie in the game at our place. Now, in fairness to Jamie was nursing a bad ankle at that point, so. But that was frustrating because we usually do a better job not letting one guy just go crazy on us. But he's a special one.
Coach, what adjustments did you make early on? You're down.
You know, I mean, we just tried to change up a little bit. I guess probably the most key adjustment is we got Fleming on him. We moved Ryan to him because Trey wasn't. You know, Trey was struggling with staying with him, which, you know, that's not normal for Trey. That's why again, don't want to alibi for him, but that's just not normal for Trey. And you know, but he was struggling keeping with him. And the thing is, he's not going to say anything. You know, he's just one of those. I mean, he's fought injuries all year. I mean, he was the first one that we were playing without half our games before Christmas. And when we finally got him going in the month of February, what the Trey Casey that we saw last week in the Gulf South Tournament is the one that the guys were becoming familiar with before his first injury. And he obviously, you know, just had a rough day today.
You had to feel good going into halftime. I mean,
oh, yeah. I mean, it was amazing. I mean, it's like I said, I felt the one thing I said, too, is, you know, our season, with all that went down, you know, the pressure was on them. And I told our guys that from the get-go. You know, we're here, you know, for us, in a certain sense, I mean, you never want to be satisfied with where you are. But you know, we've done so much more than anybody dreamed we could have done. And the thing that both of us, we talked about this when we got home last week from the Gulf South Tournament. Pat and Mike were with me, and we were sitting, and I said, guys, I got to admit it to you. I didn't think this was doable. I mean, these guys went, you know, and of course you never say that as a coach when you're in the battle. But, you know, just the first thing is, and of course both of our teams had serious losses to graduation last year. And, you know, obviously, you know, Huntsville's loss was major, you know, at the point guard, but we lost 2 great players, and I don't think anybody really expected us to be anywhere near what we were going to be. And the big part of it's this guy right here, because he was doing a, he was doing a Zach Warner impersonation the last 2 months of the season. And, and again, how big was he in the comeback? And just, it got to where everything, and everything was coming off of Mike, everything was playing through Mike, the way we did Zach and Scott Dennis last year. So that, he carried us. I mean, even, when Trey was making them bombs at Gulf South Tournament, a lot of that was because guys were having to help down to try to contain Mike. On the other side of that, I would say for Lenny, too, is I haven't been in this situation many times in my career. There was one year for sure that we were picked when the last time we came down here, when you're the team with a target on your back every night, when you're picked to win it and you've won it for 3 or 4 straight years, to get it done is an amazing thing. And, what they've done, winning the league, like I say, they've had the target on their back for at least 3 years now. I think they might have surprised a little bit that first year when those guys were all freshmen, but they've had that target on their back for a long time now, and they have found a way, winning the regular season and getting it done in these kind of situations for a good part of 4 years. So I give them credit for that. I think you were going to say something to Mike after what I'd said earlier.
Yeah, just talk about the comeback, Mike. I mean, you guys were just knocking down some unbelievable shots. How did things kind of turn for you there?
I mean, the big thing was y'all stopped hitting shots too. But we just need to slow down and start running our offense like we had been all season. I mean, we were settling for jumpers that we'd never take in a regular game before. But I mean, I give all the credit to the guys fighting back. We're down 15. I mean, it starts on defense, so that was huge. The underclassmen coming back are going to be really good next year.
What was their biggest lead?
18, 28-10.
They got 28 to 10.
Yeah.
It was 18.
That was crazy.
The other thing I'd say about these guys is just there's such a level of unselfishness with the guys we have. We've had different guys stepping up each game, and they really don't care. They don't care who it is. We've had so many different guys lead us in scoring. McCarthy was still coming. He wasn't back to 100% yet, but he's a guy that could get 20 on any given night. Pat did it several times, and but again, just a very unselfish. The only one, and Drew, I'll give Drew some credit. I mean, Drew was a big part of Drew would come in and give us that athletic jolt that we lack sometimes, and he made a couple of big threes. Drew giveth, Drew taketh away. He took a couple there at the end. It was just pure freshman. But it's one of those things that if he makes them, boy, you're rolling. And he made a couple of plays, but he had a couple of tough plays there at the end too. I mean, we had him set up on that 2 second out of bound. Man, we had him cutting at the basket, and it just kind of fumbled away. That was a tough break, but he was a big part of that comeback early because we had to take Casey out. He was struggling and got in foul trouble, and Drew. I don't know. I don't know if he scored all 12 of those points. He did score a couple in the second half, but he was a big part of that run. He had a couple of threes. The 2 that he hit, I think, were during that run. But and Mike hit a couple of bombs too during that stretch too.
Mike, you're the only senior on this. Is that correct? Only senior on the team?
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, you got 2 seniors yet to play. What does it mean for you guys to make the NCAA as your senior year? Ended that way, coming down here.
I mean, we hear the same things, like not the highest expectations after losing Scott and Zach. So, I mean, we just wanted to come out and be competitive just like we have been. I mean, we got a taste of winning last year, went to the Sweet 16, so of course you're going to want to go back there as well. But, I mean, we definitely exceeded our expectations as well. I mean, it's awesome that we won the Gulf South going out. I don't know. It's tough to lose in the first round NCAA tournament again, but I mean, it was a good year, I think.
Talk about the last shot you hit. I mean,
yeah,
a nice play, and you had to feel like you headed to overtime then.
Yeah, I thought for sure we were going to overtime. I don't know. Coach drew up a play in the timeout, just pretty much for me to attack the basket and see what kind of shot we can get. I honestly thought they might have called a foul at the end, but they didn't. And yeah, I thought for sure. I give all the credit to Jamie though. I mean, he's just really good at creating shots for himself. He has been like that ever since I've been playing against him. So, I don't know. It was tough.
It's tough for these guys to come in and in the class that Huntsville had, the class they have, to be locked in and have to play against those guys every year, and you know that's obviously a tough thing. And, you know, we talked about the other thing when we lost Harry. We were 3-0 in the conference. We had just won our first two, and I know North Alabama and I guess Union was a game that got hurt, and we were getting ready to come to Huntsville, and we didn't know. Early in the week, we didn't think it was that bad an injury, so we're thinking he's going to be okay. You know, Harry's telling me it's getting better. You know, it's feeling better. And again, we had not had the greatest first half to begin with. We managed to win the conference games, but we had lost a couple of Harding that were, at least one of them that was very winnable, and you know, and then lost the game at home with Tribeca, which was an ugly night. And those were some of the games that I think we were struggling without Trey. When we lost Harry, we had to go on that road trip, and I knew going into that road trip, and we didn't find out till like Wednesday that Harry was probably out for the year. You know, having to go to Huntsville first game, and then having to go to Shorter, who hadn't lost in like 25 straight home games. You know, we came back from that road trip. We were 8-5, and I think all of us were kind of like, I'll be honest. I told these guys that again when we were coming back from the Gulf South Championship. I said, guys, again, the kind of thing you admit when all the success was already there. I said, guys, I'm going to tell you, when we were 8-5, I was just praying, Lord, let us get to 14. And I'm being serious as a heart attack. I'm thinking if this team wins 14 games, I'm going to drop on my knees, and I'm going to be so. I would have been, you know, I'd have been proud of them if we'd have won 14. If we'd have gone 14-12, it would have been 14-13, losing the game first round of conference. I just wanted to get to 14. We had 8, and I thought, I don't know if we got 6 more in us, because we had just lost Harry. Trey wasn't back 100% yet. But, you know, here we sit with 21 wins. And, you know, in a Gulf South trophy, I mean, it is just amazing. And, you know, and the part about it that's tough, and another thing that I said to him in the locker room, the better it is, the better the season, the more it hurts when you experience this moment. And there's only one team in the country that's not going to experience this moment, you know, and that's unfortunately part of basketball. I always say football coaches are wussies. They get their 25 bowls and bring their championship trophies home from the FedEx armpit bowl. You know, basketball, you got to be. You know, they talk about that being the tough sport. You know, of course, Division II isn't like that. You know, it's the big dogs that get their little, you know, go 6-5 in the season and then go win a bowl game and act like you accomplished something. But you know, it's tough. Basketball, it's the way it is. And if you're good enough to make it to this, it's gonna hurt like hell when it happens. And you know, and the other thing I'm really thankful for, because it would have been terrible for us the way this game started. I'm thinking, man, I just hate to see this team just get drilled the last game. And Huntsville, you know, when they get on a roll like they were, and I do blame ourselves a little bit for that, because they did get wide open looks there early. But when they get on a roll like that, they can steamroll you. We've done that. You know, we can do that to people. We've done it to people. But you know, teams like us that shoot the threes a lot, you know, get it going, it can just mow you over. And I'm thankful for that too. That we showed up and showed something about the way this team has been all year. Good,
Yep.
guys.
Thank you.